Hello there. Are you staying home to maintain social distance? Can't photograph people closely? Is your camera collecting dust on the shelf? Stop binge watching that TV show. I'm going to give you an assignment that will bring your photography to a higher level. Let's work on your composition. First, let me answer the question of what is composition? In a photograph, composition is the look, the visual form. To compose is to design the look. For example, if we send photographers to photograph Half Dome at Yosemite, all will compose their shots differently. Let's have a look at a few examples. This one by Ansel Adams uses dark shadows to frame Half Dome. Framing is a compositional element in which the margins of composition form an area with less discernible features, hence bringing in the viewer's attention to the center, where the George Clooney is. That's how I nickname the focal center of an image, the star we should pay attention to. Here, Half Dome is the George Clooney, and the shadows are the extras. Except in this image, there is one more star. The moon hangs in the sky in a counterbalanced position to Half Dome. So, how did Ansel Adams make it stand out? He used plenty of negative space, sky without cloud or any other details, to surround it, so it can gather enough attention as a supporting character while keeping Half Dome as the main character. Here is another Half Dome by Ansel Adams. This one is taken at a closer distance. He must have hiked to another vantage point somewhere to the right of the first photo. The change of distance causes a compositional effect I call distance and field of view. By moving closer to Half Dome's right, it has become much larger than its left. The distortion makes the landmark less recognizable. This will shift our attention to the texture of Half Dome. Texture as a composition element gives the viewers a sense of material, here rough rocky surface. These textures are mostly vertical lines, a compositional element that's most effective to incite the impression of strength. This Half Dome is depicted with colors in mind. Colors as a compositional element is a two-edged sword. To make it work, we often need to simplify them, like this one. The setting sun projects golden light only on Half Dome at this moment, making it the only subject in yellow, in contrast to the blue surrounding. This does one thing. It forms framing with brightness and colors, again, bringing the George Clooney to the spotlight, literally. Here's one by me, taken from the bottom of Yosemite Valley with a medium wide-angle lens. Half Dome looms over the trees and snow-covered valley, forming background and foreground. Background and foreground is a compositional element most effective in bringing depth to our two-dimensional photographs. Finally, here is another one by Humbly Yours, made into a panorama and printed as wide as 5 feet. The consideration of the ratio between the width and the height and the print size is another composition element I call ratio and size. In a large panorama where width and height are very different, the image can be sectionalized. When the viewers step closer to the print, they can appreciate the details without considering the image as a whole. Here we also have a prominent horizontal line, a compositional element most effective in stabilizing. This horizontal line happens to be the horizon, an important part of a landscape. The first question comes to a landscape photographer's mind is often, where should I place the horizon? Here, I choose to place it at the top rule of the third line. Rule of the third goes that if important subjects are placed at these four lines that equally divide the image into three parts horizontally or vertically, or one of the four intersections of these four lines, then the viewer's gaze can be smoothly guided to them. Sounds like perfect spots to put your George Clooney. Now, are we ready for your exercise? I would like for you to practice your compositional skill by working on a series I call Out and About. What I need you to do is to find a small inanimate object that normally belongs indoors, something that's precious or personal to you. Bring this little fellow to the great outdoors to have an adventure. Your photographs will document this journey, and the first question to ask yourself is, how do I make my little fellow the George Clooney? Here are a few examples from my students. Michael's toy train on the real train track is not just visually stunning, with contrasting colors between the subject and the surroundings, he's also playing a trick on our minds by mixing toy trains with a real train track. They seem to belong, but they actually don't. The vanishing points formed by train tracks makes a composition that is highly integrated. When this happens, we say a photo has a tight composition. The bright yellow of JP's little giraffe makes it stand out from the surroundings. But his compositional merit doesn't stop right there. Each of these images uses a compositional strategy that works. I would like to mention the one with the dog. Leaving most of the dog out, showing only part of his head, creates an open composition. The size of the dog is left to the viewer's imagination. Alexis takes a mirror out to the hood. The reflected mirrors form intriguing contrast to the scene behind the mirror in terms of color and texture. Rule of the third is also present. Are you ready to try your hands on Out and About? Pick your subject and get your camera ready, and go have fun. When you are done, check out my book, Photography at 21st Century Practice, on Amazon. Through this book, you can learn virtually all aspects of photography from me. Happy shooting!